Okay, so I'm with Jay Delsing, who I'm delighted to announce is a partner now in Clubface Golf. So, Jay, welcome to the team. Delighted to have you on board. Let me tell you a bit about Jay. So, Jay played on the PJ Tour approximately between 600 and 700 times.
Too long. Most of my friends would say I played too long, Paulie.
Well, do you feel like you play too long?
No, I'd like to keep playing, but I think it probably irritated more people with that. But anyway, go ahead. Make some stuff up. Spruce this thing up a little bit.
Shall I okay? Came second in the Masters, won the Open twice. No, anyway.
Baby, keep going. Keep going.
So,
unfortunately, there's Google.
Yeah, quite. So you did have 7 tour wins. What would you regard as your most prestigious win?
I won probably the Omaha Classic and the Fort Smith Open were my 2 biggest wins. They were on what is now the Nationwide. Those were probably my biggest. I didn't win anything on the PGA Tour per se. I won some satellite sort of events, that the Gerald Ford event that we had in Vail and things like that. But yeah, I'm just delighted to be with you. The Clubface Golf social network is something that we desperately need in our world. I am not a social media guy until, our partnership, because this is all good, all golf. And look, you can have some spirited debates, but there's none of the trash, man. And there's just too much of that trash for me.
I agree. Well, we're delighted to have you on the team. So Jake is now working on, you're doing podcasts, you're doing broadcasting, anything to do with golf. Jay is your man. So what we're going to do in this mini video is have some predictions about the Open 2023, which kicks off in about a day and a half's time. I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be so exciting. It's at Royal Liverpool Golf Club in Hoylake, in the northwest of England, which is typically cold and wet and windy. Is that going to have an impact on the results this weekend, do you think?
Oh, for sure. I mean, listen, one of the things when you play in the British Open is you never know what you're going to get, right? One of the things I tell people, ask me all the time, that golf course over there looks so brown. I said, listen, it's not like in the States. We water the hell out of everything because we want stuff to be green. Over there, the home of golf, where golf is created, the weather dictates. If it's green, it's because it's been a rainy season. If it's brown and looks like a cracker, it's because it's been dry. And so you get what you get. One year it's this way, one year it's the next. But I like, especially if the forecast holds true. And predicting the weather is even harder than trying to predict these golf majors. But I like the Euro side a little stronger than I like the U.S. side. There's great players. Rory is in great form. What a finish at the Scottish Open. Man, it almost got me off my couch. Not very much gets me off my couch these days, but that finish, that 2-iron was just remarkable. But I like Tommy Fleetwood. He's in great form, as well as Tyrrell Hatton. My sleeper pick is Siwoo Kim. I have a couple of podcasts, and you were kind and gracious enough to mention those. Golf with Jay Delsing is one. We just had Barbara Nicholas on the show. We got to introduce Clubface Golf to the world there. We also have a national podcast called Beyond the Fairways. It has an S on it, Beyond the Fairways. And we have great guests like David Faraday and Lee Trevino, Tom Watson. We have Barbara Nicholas on there as well. So lots of really good guests. We're storytellers. I want to be a storyteller. I mean, if I can help your game, we're going to try to do that. But giving someone a lesson on how to hit a 5-iron over the radio or even over Zoom, you know what I mean? It's tough.
I think people have started to get used to that, though, because of COVID. But now they're going back to traditional forms of learning. Get to a coach, get to a PGA qualified coach. Let him analyze your swing. Let him make some adjustments and get out and play. Play.
Amen. Amen. Just get a club in your hands, man, and be outside and be with some people that you love and like to hang out with, or that you don't like and you want to beat and make a couple dollars from them, and go play, get some exercise.
I agree. So let's go with your outright winner.
My outright winner, I'm going to go with Tyrrell Hatton. Okay. I picked him last week. He had a really tough third round, but played really well. Coming home, he's in great form. Tommy Fleetwood wouldn't surprise me. Siwoo Kim is a sleeper. This young man has had a great British Open several years ago, Yeah. So, and then from the American side, Scotty Scheffler is just playing great golf. He's on a heater that's been unprecedented, Paul. He's not putting with a damn,
Yeah.
but he hasn't finished out of the top 12 in over a year, I think, or something ridiculous. His stats. Colin Morikawa is one of the top iron players of this generation. I just don't know how Colin is going to perform in the bad weather. You know, typically the California kids are not the hardiest that we have over here. So, but those are the guys I like. I mean, Rory is obviously the favorite. John Rahm is never, ever, ever a bad pick.
Ricky, or is he one of the California boys you think might struggle with the weather? I think I've seen him practicing at, I can't remember the course, earlier this week in some inclement weather, and he's on top of his game at the moment. You know, he had 3 years of in the doldrums, but at the moment I just think he's so good for the game of golf, you know, Jay. It's lovely.
Absolutely terrific. I was rooting so hard for him at the US Open. Obviously he came out on Sunday and didn't have much of his game, but it's great to see him back. And then he wins at the Rocket Mortgage Classic up in Detroit a couple of weeks later. He's wonderful for the game. This kid signs all the autographs.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like a
boy band member. He looks like a boy band member.
Bad boy, but he's not at all. He's just a terrific guy, and I love him. I don't know how he plays in the bad weather. The bad weather is a mindset, Paul. You gotta dig in, and I just think that I'm not going to say anybody really truly loves it. I think Tom Watson was the best bad weather player I ever saw. I grew up in the middle of the country over here in St. Louis. The weather is terrible almost all the time, either oppressively hot or stupid cold. And whenever the weather got lousy, I loved it because I knew a lot of the Southern Californians and the Floridians were going to say, nah, let's go home. And I was like, let's bring it on. So I needed every advantage I could get when I was.
Right. So my predictions are a bit out there. Victor Hovland, anyone who knows me and sees my posts on CFG will know I back Victor in every event because I just think he's one of those guys that if he brings his game is always in amongst it. Xander Schauffele, if he can convert on day 4, he's always got a chance.
Right.
Taylor Gooch is an outside bet for me. I think he's doing so well on the LIV. He's ranked 101, which baffles me. But, you know, we've discussed in the past about the OWGR and what's going on there. It's not really indicative of what's truly happening in golf.
Nah, it's irrelevant, unfortunately. It really doesn't have much relevancy at all. Patrick Cantlay is a guy that should be winning a major soon. I just don't know how he's going to handle those conditions. I just don't. I'm not familiar with Royal Liverpool. I've watched it. I've never played there. So I don't know, and so just in complete.
I think it's the linksiest links type golf course you can have. That they're going to be, and the problem with golf as it sits right now with the big hitting, I call it whack it and rescue, whack it and rescue, whack it and rescue. Is there's so much in course out of bounds. The 18th, you know, if you're 10 yards to the right off, you're out of bounds, and I think that's going to trouble a lot of the big hitters. So it's going to be a really interesting weekend. I'm very excited for it. You know, whenever the Open comes around, it's like hairs on your arm stand up type of
every year. Can't wait. You know what I love about it living over here is that you can get up in the middle of the night and get a drink and turn on the Open, and it's somebody's out there playing, and then you wake up at a normal time and it's mid round, and you get great golf. And on the other side, conversely, when we have the U.S. Open on our West Coast, you know, you had dinner and then you could go back and watch the last 6 holes. You know, I enjoyed that as well. Yeah.
Well, listen, we'll carry on doing these. So I'm gonna mark up. So your outright, just remind us again, your outright winner prediction is
Tyrrell Hatton.
Your outside.
Look for Shane Lowry. Shane Lowry might surprise people too. I love his hands. He looks like a lumberjack, and he's got hands of a surgeon. And so he might surprise somebody this week as well. Love Victor Hovland. Yeah,
Links golf is perfect for him. So and inclement weather. He's from Ireland. You know, they I think last year in Ireland summer was on a Wednesday, something like that.
That's all. Yeah, and they got 15 minutes of it. That's all they. Right. Absolutely.
So, let's go through this because I want people to be able to pick on you on the platform when you've got it right or wrong. Outright winner, go.
Tyrrell Hatton.
I'm going to say Victor Hovland. outside. Siwoo Kim.
Siwoo Kim. Yep.
For me, I'm going to say Taylor Gooch.
I love it.
So let's see how we get on, and we'll maybe reflect on it this time next week and see, whether
I'll send you my Venmo, so you can pay off.
Okay, I'll set up a GoFundMe so I can pay you. Anyway, lovely.
I don't think you'll have anything to worry about, buddy.
No. Lovely speaking with you, Jay, and let's do this again next week and see how we get on. Yeah,
absolutely.
Great. Oh, just quickly plug your podcast.
Oh, my podcast is Golf with Jay Delsing, and we also have Beyond the Fairways there. If you go to Delsing.golf.com, they're archived there. You can also go to Spotify, Apple, wherever you get Buzzsprout, wherever you get your podcast, you can find Golf with Jay Delsing or Beyond the Fairways, and then Fairways has an S on the end of it.
Perfect. And you'll also be able to start linking them from Clubface Golf in the very, very near future.
Absolutely.
Jay, have a great weekend. All the best.
You as well.